No strength. You can get it quite well in Burnley, but you can't get it all that well in Lango. That's what the maps say. All right?
Okay, right, thanks a lot.
Good night.
Thank you.
Sleep well. Boy, can't read it. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Alan. I'm just wondering if you could give me some advice. 10 days ago, I had my teeth out on the National Health. It cost me £64. Now, I asked them when I had 5 bottom teeth out and false dentures put in straight away. I've been back to him 3 times within the 10 days, complaining of severe pain on my right side of my mouth. On Friday when I went, I told him that the teeth could be rubbing. He said, no, they're not. On Tuesday, when it got really unbearable, I went, and he said, yes, they are too deep. By this time, I'd got a load of ulcers. So he filed them down. Fair enough, that was that. The teeth then sank, which caused me more pain. I've now found that he's left half a tooth in, which means that as the denture presses, it's pushing the tooth that is left in. Now the problem is that tomorrow night I'm due to fly out to Tenerife. I have found out that they've got an emergency clinic at Manchester Royal tomorrow that may be able to help, but that may involve with them cutting me gum to get at the tooth that is left in, which means that I may have to be going away with stitched mouth. Have I got any comeback on the dentist?
Let's deal with the problems as they arise. First of all, your holiday. You presumably can get a medical certificate to say you're not fit to travel because your teeth are dropping out. You can't go to Tenerife without your teeth, as they say. However, what you then need to do is to go back to the dentist, tell him to get the job right, ask him for compensation. If you don't get any satisfaction, have a word with a solicitor, but let me tell you, you'll be pushing a rock up a hill.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So there's not really much I can do.
No, that isn't what I said. What I said was get him to put the job right and then have a word with your solicitor.
But that what I'm saying is that, I mean, obviously I can't, my husband's had heart attack just before Christmas. The idea of the holiday is to give him a break and a recovery. Plus it's the first time we've been abroad with my 15-year-old daughter. Been looking forward to it. There's no way can I say to them at this late stage, no, we're not going because I've got to...
Well, that is an emotional decision, Linda,
Yeah,
and I
I
cannot
know.
help you with that. If you are deciding to go on the holiday, then do so. But do remember that if whilst you're on that holiday, you suffer so much pain that you need medical attention, your insurance, your travel insurance, may well not pay up because you were aware of the condition before you went. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is important
Yeah.
before you decide to fly out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I suggest to you that your immediate health is a lot more important than the other side of it, because what kind of a relaxing holiday is it going to be if you're up all night with pain? That's the other point. But all those things need to be considered, and you haven't got a lot of time to do that considering.
No.
Perhaps the job will be solved tomorrow at the Manchester Hospital.
Okay, Alan.
All right, love. I wish you
Okay.
luck. It is a problem that I'm glad I haven't got, and I wish you didn't have either.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Paul, we'll be with you after the break.
It's the place to come where shopping can be fun.
We'll put a little sunshine in your life.
Now do, Paul.
Hi, Alan. I want to talk about South Africa, and especially the white people of South Africa, if I may, please.
Go on.
Right. If I can give you an example of the way South African people think, and my father emigrated to South Africa 5 years ago, which is his fault, but I had the chance to go, and obviously I decided not to because of the way, it is in South Africa. I've seen him this Christmas for the first time since he went to South Africa, and he is, as far as I'm concerned, a South African. He's changed so much, I don't really want to know him. But can I give you an example of why the troubles in South Africa will never stop until, there are such people as my father in South Africa. He gave me a reason Now, I don't know if you'll be able to comprehend it or not. I certainly can't. I argued with him all Christmas about it, and he said, well, at least the black people in South Africa aren't starving like they are in a lot of countries in Africa. At least we're doing that for them, which is more than the rest of the world are doing for the rest of Africa. Can you see the reasoning behind that? That's how they see it. They really see that by giving them 100 of mealy porridge a week, that they're doing them a favour. They're so obnoxious to the fact that they're not doing any wrong. They are right, and then it just doesn't matter how many riots. You see, I said to him, well, surely you must be scared living there. And he says to me, well, were you scared by the Toxteth riots? And I personally was. Not physically scared, but mentally scared, I was. But he wasn't scared that there were riots within 20 miles of his house in South Africa. He actually lives in Durban. And he says, well, you know, we see the press in South Africa, and there's riots in England. It's just the same. They really can't understand that it's different. They can't understand that people are perhaps rioting in England for absolutely totally different reasons than the blacks are in South Africa. They actually think it's tribal warfare. You see, a lot of it is blacks killing blacks in the majority of cases, and they actually think, well, it's blacks killing blacks, you know, it's tribal warfare, and the police just go in to stop it. They really believe that.
Indeed, but one believes what one wants to believe. If you have a blinkered view of a situation, then it's very easy for you to believe untruths. That is how the German people managed to kill all those Jews.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if as a country we put sanctions on on South Africa. It doesn't matter what we do. We're not going to alter the white population, or should we say, a lot of white population, because there are some decent whites in South Africa, although they shouldn't be there.
Well, to say that we're not going to alter their point of view, I think is defeatism in the worst extreme. No, we're not going to alter their point of view overnight, but we may well alter their point of view in time. Indeed, when the sanctions were levelled against Rhodesia, they said it will make no difference, but it was eventually that and terrorism, I'm sad to say, brought the downfall of the whites in Rhodesia, and the whites left it like rats from a sinking ship. They are now returning.
They're now whites, returning to Rhodesia?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't take that much ingenuity to come to terms with the fact that we may well have to injure the whites in Rhodesia, in South Africa, in order to create the same situation. People leave it because it's no good and then go back to it because it is in fact home.
There's just one big problem there. A big difference between Rhodesia and South Africa is the South African army, or should we say the army, the navy, the air force, it's so big, it's so well advanced. You know, it's probably as good, or I won't say as good because no army's good, but it's probably as well equipped as the British Army. And how on earth are we going to stop? The black.
The answer is it is only that well equipped because it has the money to be that well equipped, and economic sanctions will reduce its ability, the country's ability, to pay for weaponry.
Like, again, my father says, well, it doesn't really matter what he says, but he says, well, we can produce our own coal, we've got gold. They seem to think that the world needs South Africa more than South Africa needs the world, and they honestly believe they're self-sufficient, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks.
To a certain extent, they are correct. However, they do need to trade on the open market. The evidence of that is the way they panicked when some of the countries who trade with South Africa reduced their trading. And the government panicked. They actually reduced the celebrations of the opening of Parliament and other such things. So economic sanctions would work against South Africa. The South Africans have been told by their government, and indeed they have seen their government pontificating to the effect that they will not affect us. They will. There's no question of that.
It would still not alter anything.
It would in time, but it wouldn't overnight.
But Alan,
it would take longer than it did in Rhodesia because they are a wealthier country.
Exactly.
But they are not. No country these days, including the all-powerful, omnipotent United States, is actually immune to the beliefs of society at large.
But Alan, when you say it'll take time, I'm not sure now. I've got a long time since I did history at school, but I think it was it 1948 when apartheid became, should we say, law?
I think it was after that, actually. I think it was 52, but never mind, it doesn't matter.
Right, it was somewhere around that time.
Yes.
Now that's going on 40 years, 35, 40 years. How much more time have we got to make these people in South Africa realise that they're doing exactly what Hitler did? Only,
well, the answer is, I don't know how much time we've got, but if we give up, then it will take forever. But if we don't give up and keep at it, we may get somewhere. Anyway, Paul,
okay.
I hope your relationship with your father, despite his beliefs, improves.
I doubt it.
Okay, but
Bye-bye.
I hope it does anyway. Ta-ra. How do Judith?
Hi, Alan. Last night I was listening to your programme and you asked if anyone knew of a title of a record with Thursday in it.
We've had a few answers already. Give us yours.
Thursday's Child by Eartha Kitt.
Thursday's Child. Was that a hit?
Yep. Yes,
Right,
it was.
There you go. Well, we've got Thursday's Child. We had Thursday by Jim Crochet, and we had something else by Dave D. Dozy Beaky Mick and Titch, if you can believe such a name. All right, Judith?
Right, okay.
Thank you very
Good
much.
night.
Ta-ra.
London Motors, Peugeot, Talbot.
We urgently need good used cars for our used car superstore, so we're giving better than ever part exchange allowances against new Peugeots right now. Call in our showroom and inspect Peugeot quality. Most models come with a choice of petrol, diesel or high-performance engines. Test drive the fabulous 205 or the dreamy new British-built 309. Whichever Peugeot you choose, you'll be glad you came to Glandon.
London Motors, Peugeot, Talbot Superstore.
Blackpool Road, Preston.
This Easter, if you're looking for kitchens, bathrooms, showers or appliances, you must look in at the Centre. We're open Good Friday, Saturday and Easter Sunday. So remember,
Come along to the centre.
next to Power City and Decorate in Preston.
It's the only place to go.
Use a Red Rose Rambler Lancashire Travel Pass this spring and you could come home with a fantastic microwave oven. Our great spring competition is so easy. Just answer 3 simple questions, tell us where you've been with your Lancashire Bus or Bus Rail Pass, and one of 3 fabulous ovens from the Preston Microwave Centre could be yours. Entry forms from bus stations or post offices and on selected Lancashire Bus Pass tickets. Play the Preston Microwave Centre competition with Lancashire Bus and Bus Rail Passes now.
How do, Alan?
Yes, Alan. I'm willing to donate £5 to a Red Rose nominated charity if you want to try a general knowledge question.
Well, try the question. Go on.
What is the shortest sentence in the Bible?
Ah, crumbs, I used to know this. Jesus wept.
Good. I'll send the cheque off.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan.
Ta-ra. How do, Nicholas?
Oh, Alan. I'd like to talk about capital punishment.
Go on.
Well, I don't... Well, the law's trying to change it so that people will be able to sentence to death.
Well, there's no current attempt to
Well, it
change
was.
the law, but go on.
Just after the Brighton bombing, like.
Go
Well,
on.
I don't think they should bring it back for a number of reasons. Mainly because if they do hang somebody, it won't bring back the person they killed. And it's just a waste of another human life.
There are those that say the life isn't worth saving anyway. The life of a murderer, that is.
Yeah, but it's a human life, isn't it?
It is a human life, yes, but
Yeah.
it's a human life that society may well not want to exist.
Why?
Because it is a danger to society.
Yeah, but it depends on the reasons. I mean, if a person is...
Well, let me
say-
ask you a question, Nicholas. You say it depends on the reason.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that there could be a reason where capital punishment was correct?
No, I made a
No.
mistake there.
So saying it depends on the reasons doesn't matter a fig, does it?
No, it doesn't.
If they walk into a cinema and rape every female and then chop off their heads and make the men eat them, you wouldn't want that person put to death.
Yeah, but nobody does that.
Nobody does do that, but you wouldn't want that person put to death.
No.
No. So it doesn't depend on the reason at all, does it?
No, I just
Right,
said...
so would you like to tell us what you've got to say to the point that a large proportion of society, nay, I'm prepared to suggest even the majority of British society, want some murderers put to death?
Yeah, but you say some. Which
Well, some.
murderers would you not want to put to
Well,
death?
I'm not talking about me, Nicholas. I'm talking about the beliefs of society. Now, you're saying you're against it. Fine. Are you against it in total?
Yeah.
You are prepared to deny the right of the majority to have capital punishment returned? Are you?
I am stating my view. On what?
Well, stating your view isn't enough when you've been asked the question you've just been asked. Now, if you're saying you don't want to answer the question, fine.
I do want to answer the question.
Well, answer it then.
Well,
It seems to me, Nicholas, that you want to answer it but can't.
I can't.
Well, do so now.
No. Well,
You still can't. How do, Alec?
Hello, Alan. Good evening. I'm speaking from Barrow-in-Furness. You're coming through loud and clear.
Glad to hear it.
Picked up very well. Do you know I got into trouble with because of you?
I didn't know, but I'm
The
sure
earlier
I will
part
know
of this
shortly.
month. The earlier part of this month, you came up to Barrow to do.
The 99 Club.
That's right. And at the end of the evening, you were signing autographs.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, my wife came home with "Happy Birthday, X," and she said, "How is it Allan Beswick can remember my birthday, but you can't?"
Knockout. Serves you right.
Yeah, well,
You want a good whipping?
yeah. The reason I wasn't at the 99 Club is a sort of medical condition, which is why I've rang you, really. A bit of advice. I have a provisional licence, which you may be aware lasts for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the 2 years, if you haven't passed your driving test by then, apparently you can't go back on the road for 12 months. Is that right?
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh. Well, this is what I've been informed. I wasn't sure of it. I know...
I'm not aware of how stringent the regulations are, but there are regulations about how many provisional licences you can have consecutively and the like. I don't know what those regulations are.
Oh, well, I've been driving on a provisional licence since 1974, would you believe? On and off.
There are a lot of people that have been doing that. That's why the regulations were tightened up, or at least were mooted to have been tightened up recently.
But under medical advice recently, due to a sort of heart attack I had last year, and angina, which I suffer from, I've been advised not to drive until I have a bypass operation, if you know what one of those is.
Right. Are you working towards the question, will that eliminate me for my provisional licence?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah,
What I suggest you do is write to the DVLC, say, I've got a provisional licence. Yeah. I've got a provisional licence at the moment, but I cannot use it. Indeed, return it to them would help you a great deal.
Yeah.
And say, I cannot use it
I know
because
you can claim sort of rebate for the tax.
I'm not bothered about the rebate too much, because we're only talking about a few quid anyway.
Yeah.
But write back to them and say, look, I cannot use this licence at the moment because I am infirm and I require to have an operation. When I've had the operation in some months' time, or some years' time possibly.
Months.
Right, in some months'
I do
time.
know that for certain.
In some months' time, then I shall reapply for my provisional. And that way you will protect yourself. You will have made it clear to them that you're not using it at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Much
I
obliged
wish you
for your
luck.
help.
Ta-ra.
Thank you.
I'll do, Archie.
I'll do, Alan. I've got a nasty problem, Alan. My girlfriend's got a Scouse accent.
Are you...
Neil, Archie, I'm on Allan Beswick. Who thinks him ashamed?
Cheers, Alan.
Super. Oh, God, I feel so ashamed. What a jerk. Thank you very much, Archie.
For fresh fish and chips around Preston Town Centre to eat in or take away, look for the Happy Haddock sign.
Wherever you are in Preston Town, you're never far from a happy haddock.
Always and forever.
From Teledisc comes Always and Forever.
Some people are made for each other.
A beautiful double album of treasured love songs.
How about us? God bless you. You make me feel brand new. Woman, take me in your arms, rock your baby.
Zoom, just one look, and then my
Always and Forever features 24 romantic classics from Marvin Gaye, Billy Ocean, Dionne Warwick, The Stylistics, Hot Chocolate, and many more.
Why do you have to be a heartbreaker when I was being what you want me to be? If you don't,
Always and Forever, available only from Teledisc and not in the shops, is £7.99, including postage and packing. So to order, just ring us now on 051 708 7676. The number again, 051 708 7676.
Hello, Stuart.
Hello, Alan. I would like to think that the legal age on voting should be brought down.
Why? Hang on a minute. Go down machine's got a mind of its own. It's
Well, I
taking
think-
over. Why?
Well, if when you're 16 and 17 you're illegal to do other things, you can get married, but you are not allowed to vote.
So?
So like, I think at that age you should be like mature enough to be able to vote.
I think you should be, but you're not. I want it all moved to 25. I don't think you should be allowed to get married, to have sex, to go in pubs, to smoke, or even to vote until you're 25.
Well, but if them laws are enforced, don't you think that they should? So you should be allowed to vote.
Well, make your mind up. You either say those laws are enforced, or else you say those laws should be changed.
Well, the laws should be changed.
Great, I agree with you, but I disagree with the direction.
Okay.
Ta-da. Now do Lee.
Hello, Sal. I was on the bus yesterday, and over one of the windows I seen a sign saying, for the sake of your own health and convenience of the passengers, do not smoke. Does that mean you can't smoke on the top deck no more?
Well, does it say you cannot smoke?
No, it just says for your own health.
Well, it's encouraging you not to, but it's not saying you cannot.
Well, you know there's so much smoke on the top deck. You know if you breathe it in, is it bad to the non-smoker's health?
Yes?
Pardon?
Yes?
Because don't you reckon they should stop it?
What do you think?
I think they should stop smoking altogether. Well, they should do the best.
I agree.
Oh, by the way, Alan, I've been looking for a pair of silver platforms everywhere. I can't get them.
Ta-da.
You don't sell them in Simpsons, you know.
I know they don't. I can't blame them either.
All right,
How do, Ray?
Hello, Alan. Do you realise you're playing havoc with my love life?
Surprised you've still got one, Ray, but never mind. Carry on.
The full Christian name's Radio, and just as I get switched on, you're shouting at some of your callers to switch me off. It gets very frustrating.
Behave yourself.
Alright.
Ta-da.
Cheerio.
Dear me. How do, Norman?
Shankly, 81.
Norman, you must have been born a jerk. How do, Tony?
Hello, Alan. What I'd like to talk about is the conditions that we keep our prisoners in jails. I think it's disgusting.
Why?
Why? How would you like to be banged up for 23 hours a day? Slop your own mess out. I mean, if anybody did that to a dog, there'd be public protests.
It's got to be better than playing cricket.
Oh, no. I mean, cricket's cricket, isn't it?
This is true, and prison's prison. There's no escaping that. There's no escaping that. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Dear me.
No.
There's no escaping that. That's got to be the best bit ever, that.
Are you going to wear a short leg and a long leg, though?
Oh, I might do, yeah.
You've said it now. You must do it. One long leg, one short leg.
I may do it yet. I may do it yet. Say good night.
Good night.
What about that, eh? There's no escaping that for prison. Smart. Who've we got, Alice? Hello, John.
Hello.
Hello.
Alan, are you fat?
What's it got to do with you?
I'd just like to know.
Well, pay and come and see me at one of my gigs. You can find out for yourself. Hello, Petro.
Hello. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Well, yeah, now, how do a niece?
Hello. I've got a job nursing, but I like working with animals. Could you have some advice which job to take?
You've got what?
I've got a job working with a nurse and then working with animals, and I'd like some advice which one I could take.
Well,
which one would be paying more?
Have you been offered both?
No. See, I could take one working with animals and working
Denise,
with...
have you been offered 2 jobs?
Yeah, no, I could go training for a nurse and training for a thing because I've left school. No, and I don't know which one I could be getting paid more money.
Well, I don't know either.
Oh. Okay, try.
Ask your careers master. Don't think she has left school, do you? Paul! We always seem to end up on a Paul. I'll be with you after the break.
Blackpool Road, Preston.
Allan Beswick.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a guy on about 20 minutes ago speaking about South Africa and his relations with his father. I just want to say, I don't know where the hell he's got his totally unfounded idea of the South African people. I've no idea. I mean, he's totally wrong.
Tell us why you think he's wrong, or give us some statement that
I was
indicate it.
born in Rhodesia, yeah? The people in Rhodesia, a lot of which are in South Africa at the moment, are very similar to those in South Africa, although their relations with the blacks were probably slightly better. In South Africa, there's only one sector who are actually racialist, and that is Afrikaans. And that is a very small majority of the white population in South Africa.
A small majority? Do you mean more than half?
No, Afrikaans.
Do you mean more than half?
No, smaller than half.
Well, it's not a majority then, it's a minority. Go on.
All right, a minority.
It's all right,
fair
go
enough. Yeah, now, he turned around and he based his whole argument on his father's talking. Yeah?
Yes.
He's never even been to the country.
I've
never
not been
seen
to
the
the country,
people.
but I don't approve of apartheid.
No, I don't approve of
Apartheid exists because of an electoral majority amongst whites.
That's correct.
Now, you can tell us that the Afrikaans are the only ones that like it, but the whole country has got it.
Yeah, because
Now,
the
would you like to
Afrikaners are in power.
Well, they're not in power. Are you telling me that they... Well, just a moment. When you say the Afrikaans are a minority, how come they're in power? Do you not have elections in South Africa?
Yeah, they do, but they take a look at the rest of Northern Africa and see all the white countries
No, I'm
that are
sorry.
now
Would you
black.
like to answer the questions that are put to you? It's a very old South African ploy to answer different questions. I'm not that stupid. I'll put the question to you again. If the Afrikaans are in power, how did they get in power if they are a small minority as you define them?
Because the whites want to keep it white.
Well, when you say they are a small minority, do you mean they are a small minority of the population of South Africa, or do you mean they are a small minority of the white population of
Of the
South
white
Africa?
population.
Then how come the small minority of the white population is controlling the large majority of the white population?
Because the larger majority is more afraid to vote for a more liberal...
So, Paul, the reason that apartheid exists isn't because the Afrikaans are in power. The reason apartheid exists is because the majority of the people in white South Africa want it to exist.
They want it to stay white South Africa.
That wasn't the question. Are you telling me that they vote for apartheid when really they mean to vote against it?
I think if they had a choice of abandoning apartheid altogether and making sure that the country would stay white, they would choose that option.
But they cannot make sure that they choose that option.
Not unless-
because you cannot have democracy controlled by a bunch of white thugs.
No, but...
Right, so in South Africa, the only acceptable development, or the only development that will be regarded as having achieved something, will be when all the human beings, I realise that a lot of South Africans would immediately exclude the blacks, however, when all the human beings have the right to vote equally, then we'll find out.
Yeah. Now, that has happened. If I can take you right from the north of Africa right down to the southern tip, or Zimbabwe, as it is now, the white countries that were and are now black are in a position now which they couldn't retrieve. You know, I mean, it's
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that...
Are you suggesting that it's a good thing that the blacks don't have the vote in South Africa?
I'm suggesting
Are
that
you or aren't you? Yes or no? Don't play games with me, fool.
Yes.
Yes or no? You're suggesting it's a good thing?
Yeah.
Then I hope your balls drop off. How do, Lee?
Yeah, there's a club by ours at the bottom of our road, and the music is just too loud of a night, and I can't sleep.
Well, wear earmuffs. How do, Brian?
Good evening, Alan. I wonder if you could help me with something over your signal. I was in hospital a few weeks ago, and I was listening to your programme on the radio, which I took in with me, and I could get it no problem on FM. But the following day, my brother brought me another radio in which had an earphone I could plug in so I wouldn't disturb any of the other patients. And that was operated on a VHF. And there's no way I could get
Well, first
Red
of all,
Rose radio.
allow me to tell you that FM is VHF.
I couldn't get radio.
Well, it may well have been a radio of lesser quality, or it may well have been that you were actually listening on medium wave on one of them.
Oh, I was certainly on VHF.
On both occasions?
Yeah, I was certain of that.
Well, it can't be the signal, can it? If you could receive it with one radio and not with another, you can't blame the signal, can you? You must blame the changing thing, not the constant. The signal's the same every night.
Yes, I kept getting stuck with Radio City.
Well, it's a cross that no one should have to bear, but there you are. Anyway, Brian, I can't answer your question. As far as I'm concerned, it isn't a signal problem you are suffering, but a radio problem, because one radio worked on that signal and the other radio didn't. All right?
Okay.
How do, Paul?
Hello?
Yeah.
I think smoking should be banned, and everybody who smokes is scum.
We don't need language like that on this programme. Hello, Phil.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to talk about the police.
I'll talk about them.
Well, they pulled me up a couple of days ago for speeding on my bike, and I hate them.
Just for speeding?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when they beat you up in the cells? Nothing, I suppose. How do, Charles?
Hello, Al. How you doing?
I'm all right.
That's good. Listen, I want to get this thrashed out once and for all. Let's get it sorted about these animal lovers. There's no such thing as a good animal, in my opinion. You've had a lot of people saying they keep them company and all that, but unless you can eat them, short of human beings, there's not a useful animal in the world. Not nowadays, anyway.
I'm not sure a blind person that has a guide dog would agree with you.
Well, as an ex-dog handler, Alan, I'm a bit dubious over guide dogs. You know.
How dubious you are. I was interviewed on Monday afternoon by a young girl who'd come alone, except for her guide dog, all the way from near Warrington, and she wouldn't have been able to do that had it not been for the existence and training of her guide dog. So you can be as dubious as you like, Charles.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Alan, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, I am not a great one for believing in all this love and affection that's thrown upon animals, but some people have the right to do it. All people have the right to do it if they so desire. But I would not say, anyway, that no animal is worth anything. A guide dog clearly is.
Yeah, but it's got its limitations. I mean, it can't...
All things have their limitations, Charles. You have your limitations. You already have changed your mind on this argument, proving that you were unable to assess the situation properly with your own brain and had to use mine to get your point. So, quite honestly, Charles, talking about people's limitations and animals' limitations, given a choice between having you for company and a guide dog, I think the guide dog would win hands or paws down. How do, Gonzalo?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about sperm donors.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's right for a man to donate sperm just to make a baby?
Well, that's the only way you can make one.
Yeah, but why not? Why donate it? Why not just do it naturally, you know?
Because the recipient, the erstwhile mother, may well not want to receive it in that way.
Yeah, but why would you want it to receive it the other way?
Well, she might simply want a baby and not want the intercourse with that stranger. It may be that she has a husband or a partner who cannot create the child. It may be that she is a lesbian and has no desire to have sex with any male. It may be that she simply doesn't like the guy that's after giving her one. So, why not?
Yeah, but why not have it with someone else then, that she does like?
Well, she may not want to have it with somebody else.
Yeah, but why not adopt one then?
She may... Well, first of all, if she's a lesbian, she would have grave difficulty in adopting one. Why does it offend you?
I just don't think it's right, yeah. I think it's totally wrong.
Why do you not think it's right? Tell me why you think it's wrong.
It's all against the way I think.
Well, that doesn't answer the question. It may be as far as you can go, but it doesn't answer the question.
Well, what I mean is, why... You know, it's all against religion, isn't it? God never said you could do anything like that.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, God doesn't exist, so that's eliminated that one, hasn't it?
Oh, so you're an atheist?
No.
So you believe in God?
No.
Well, if you don't believe in God, you're an atheist.
That is not so. There is something in the middle that your intellect appears not to stretch to.
Explain it.
It's called agnostic.
I never heard of the word.
I suggest you look it up. How do, Chris?
How do, Alan? I was the original one about this signal strength problem. I'm glad that the other bloke actually rang up and told me that medium wave does actually cover Burnley, and I'm definitely going to ring the RBA up now, or write them a letter, because medium wave is actually worse to get than Radio Luxembourg.
Never mind.
Anyway, the reason why I was ringing is to really agree with you about this voting age at 25.
There's not many of us about, Chris, but why do you agree with it?
Well, to some extent, I think that everybody is really brainwashed due to the education and sort of contact with various people that they respect. And that it's only in later life that you start having your own views on that, on various things.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for your support.
Okay.
Ta-ra. Final caller tonight, and indeed this week, because I'm off tomorrow, is Rita. And she's gone, so Chris was the final caller this week. I'll be back on Monday, of course.
Blinking egg, Dave. Why don't you get a decent radio to match this flash car?
Well, that one cost an arm and a leg, but it's never been much good.
You need to contact West Horton Car Radio, mate. They've got superb systems by Blaupunkt and Panasonic. Hey, and they've got the Blaupunkt E-Stock range at less than half the normal price. None of this distortion like with one of them.
Blaupunkt what?
Blaupunkt. It's German, ain't it? I thought you were supposed to be brainy. Hey, you can also get electric windows, vehicle alarms and car phones fitted by West Horton Car Radio.
So, find the right station with West Horton Car Radio, Church Street, West Horton. Phone West Horton 814-229 before you crack up.
This Easter, if you're looking for kitchens, bathrooms, showers or appliances, you must look in at the Centre. We're open Good Friday, Saturday and Easter Sunday. So remember... Come along to the Centre. Next to Power City and Decorate in Preston. It's the only place to go.
At David Taylor Cars, you can get any deal you want on a new Nissan.
I'd like a free sunroof in my new Sunny.
Certainly, sir.
I'd also like a free stereo cassette and customised striping.
But of course, sir.
And I'd like a free courtesy car when I bring mine in for servicing.
No problem, sir.
And I'd also like a 3-week holiday for 2 in the Bahamas.
Oh, well, we'll have a bit of a problem with that one, sir. At David Taylor Cars, Blackburn and Accrington, you can get almost any deal you want. Well, within reason, of course.
Pay the price.
This Sunday and Monday at the Bold Hotel, Lord Street, Southport, an international roadshow by Barker Fine Arts Limited. On sale, original oil paintings at a fraction of their gallery price, watercolours, oil paintings and rare limited edition prints, with prices starting from as little as £5 to an original Lowry at £20,000. Original Dutch panel paintings, watercolours and oil paintings. This weekend, Sunday and Monday at the Bold Hotel, Lord Street, Southport. Open Sunday, 12 noon till 6, Easter Monday, 10 till 6.
Centro. Capture the space age with satellite TV at Centro. Satellite demonstrations daily at Centro, Dixon Road, Blackpool and Ainsworth Street, Blackburn. See how a satellite receiver brings films and programs from the UK, Europe and America direct to your TV, giving you a viewing choice like you've never had before. And Centro give you the license. It's the biggest step forward in home entertainment since TV itself. Evening demonstrations 6 till 9 every Thursday at Dixon Road, Blackpool and every Friday at Ainsworth Street, Blackburn.
Your money goes further at Central.
The world of satellite TV is plain to see at Centro.
Throughout the programme this evening, I've been playing a tape of a voice of a man from Liverpool. The reason I've been playing that tape is because Merseyside Police want me to. It's a tape recording of a telephone conversation that took place between the man, obviously, and Liverpool Police. You will only hear the man's voice on the tape. Police are anxious to trace the man. They believe he may be able to help them with their inquiries, as the saying goes, into the burglary and assault, because he was tied up, at John Moore's home recently. If you think you recognise the voice, I'll give you a telephone number at the end for you to ring. You can also write to me anonymously and tell me who you think it might be, and I will pass your letter on to the police. I won't be dealing with it. Telephone number coming up shortly. Here's 20 seconds of a voice. See if you recognise it.
It's a personal matter. Yes. So there's been an accident, you see. A break-in. Formby. I don't know the address. It's just that a famous person's house, John Moore, and he's been tied up by burglars.
If you think you recognise that voice, ring this number now, or indeed whenever you feel like. 051 709 6010, and ask for extension 3119. That's 051 709 6010. Extension 3119. Of course, you can drop me a line if you prefer. I will pass that letter on to the police.
Allan Beswick.
We can solve this, you know. Us Beswick people. Us late night meanderers. If you missed the voice, or if you'd like to hear it again, it'll feature once or twice on the news tomorrow. The Red Rose News, of course. You can also hear it on Radio City and Radio Merseyside. And that's it for me, or from me, for this week. John Gilmore will be sat in this chair tomorrow. David Legg will be sat in it immediately after the 2 o'clock news. He's taking you through till 6. I'll be back on Monday, and of course with It's Your Turn on Sunday. Till then, ta-ra.
For 2 o'clock news, this is Bill Bingham. 2 men are under arrest after an armed siege in West London, but their capture came only by chance after police had spent hours surrounding the wrong house. Dave Loyne reports from the scene in Richmond.
Armed police spent nearly 8 hours searching 2 empty houses. The arrest came when a man put his head out of the skylight of a house at the other end of the block. Superintendent Alistair McLean justifies the caution of the operation.
It's not easy to search for armed men in the darkness, particularly in very dangerous loft spaces. And that's what took the time.
The search had begun after 2 men stopped in a routine inquiry were found to have a gun in their car. After a violent struggle, they escaped. There was a high-speed car chase. Their abandoned car was found close to here. Dave Loyne, IRN, West London.
Mrs. Thatcher says nuclear weapons are here to stay. And she says President Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev's hopes for a nuclear-free world are pie in the sky. She says although everyone would like to see nuclear weapons eliminated, she doesn't think it will come...